just expressing that faith in people has been really good and inspirational for me.
I think, you know, we can see how clearly Baltimore itself has influenced your outlook or thinking about these things, about places, about policy, and how to affect opportunity. But you all have mentioned you've spent time elsewhere, either traveling or studying, or even here in D.C. Can you talk about how other places might have helped also inform your outlook on the best way to approach these issues?
So with the British Marshall Scholarship, I got to live in London for 3 years on somebody else's dime, and it was great because it's expensive. To see, and I got my urban planning degree, so it was really interesting. I did it's called a writing seminar, so a writing degree at Hopkins. That was my undergrad degree. But what I told the Marshall Commission was that I've been trained as a writer. I know I'm going to want to write about cities, in particular Baltimore, for the rest of my life. Can you help me get the credentials so that I can write about cities not just from my heart, but from my head as well? So that I can go back and forth. And that's what I try to do in my column. I tell people that in my column, I see it as my best stab at living and writing out an example of what it is to be an engaged citizen in the context of Baltimore. So London was really transformative for me. It's where I made the transition from the humanities into the social sciences, and it's also where my first concept of what urban planning can look like came from. So just to see what they do with green space, for one, to see what they do with transit-oriented development, to see what they do with kind of human-friendly and human-scale design. They have height restrictions. To see a system, you know, theirs is a central government, so you go directly from kind of town and neighborhood level administration with no intervening states straight to the national government. So, but basically so in 3 years in London, there were several moments where I ran into people I knew from the U.S. just on the street because it's such a hub. And when people say they're going to London, all they mean is the centralmost 10 square miles. So as they're on their way to Dubai or Mumbai or wherever, and they have a layover or stop for a week or so, I just run into these people. So to see exactly how vibrant and dynamic a city could be was incredibly exciting. And, you know, like Baltimore is never going to be London, and it doesn't need to be, but it definitely gave me ideas about interconnectivity and how to think about dynamism and growth within an urban and a regional context.